Hey Church, hope you're well. It's Friday, September the 10th. Been away for a couple weeks on vacation and good to be back. Good to be getting re-engaged. I'm really looking forward to this weekend in particular. Like a lot of you would love to be up in Tahoe, but as much as I was looking forward to Lake Tahoe, I was even looking forward more to hearing Jim Edwards teach, and that piece is still in place. So I'm really excited to hear Jim for the retreat. I hope that I know many of you are joining us, and still, yeah, I think it's too late to sign up for the lunch, but you could still join us for the sessions, and hope you will consider doing that starting tonight at 7 o'clock. Just a quick reflection today. If you're reading through John's Gospel with us, I really hope you are. We read chapter 11 today, this brilliant story about Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead. And so much in this story that I could reflect on, but the thing that stuck out to me, and I've shared this with a couple of you already today that I've been with, but there's a part towards the end of the story where Jesus tells some of those there to go and roll away the stone over the tomb so that Lazarus can come out. And I never had thought much about that, but I got to thinking today about how this is so typical of Jesus, that he does these incredible miracles that can only, power of which can only come from God. And yet he so graciously invites others to participate in the miracle. I think of Peter and the fisherman with the amazing catch of fish. He's the one that provides the miracle, but he sends Peter and the others out to lower the nets. They have a role in it. Think of the feeding of the 5,000. Jesus is the one that does this miracle with the food to take a boy's lunch and turn it into enough for 5,000 people, but he has the disciples take and distribute the food, that they get to be involved in that, and how gracious it is that God would do that. And yet it's an important role, but it's also secondary. I am certain that after Lazarus comes walking out of the tomb alive after being dead 3 days, that those who rolled away the stone didn't take credit for it, that they knew where the glory belonged, and it wasn't to them. It was to Christ, the one who did this. And this is something that I've been thinking a lot about recently, and probably you'll hear some more from me about this, but really wondering, how well do I do this? How well do we do this? How well do we wait on Jesus in our lives for his leading, for him to be the one that makes things happen, and for us to be the one that we simply listen to his voice and obey him and participate, but at his lead. I'm afraid that in my life, to use the Lazarus story, I'm the one that's trying to roll the stone away and do CPR on Lazarus and bring him back to life on my own strength and own power and own timing. And I've been increasingly convicted about, what do we really do as individual followers of Christ and as a church of followers of Christ? What do we really do that is utterly dependent on the power of Christ to act and work? We I think always have a role. God invites us to participate with him in kingdom work. But do we have the patience and faith to wait on him? Those people that rolled that stone away, that was an incredible act of faith on their part. They even said before, hey, if we do this, it's going to stink. He's been dead for 4 days. And yet they did it. I'm sure full of a lot of doubts, and yet they acted in faith. I want to be that kind of person who waits on Christ, leans into his power, lets him work, let him lead, and then in the end stands back to allow him to receive the glory for what happens. Just some thoughts about that text, so much more if you haven't read it. Actually, this was not today's text, but yesterday's text. So, if you missed it yesterday, go back and read it. A powerful story. So, again, looking forward to seeing you either this weekend for the retreat, Friday night and Saturday morning, or else at least Sunday morning when we gather for worship with Jim Edwards preaching on hope. And I know he's going to bring a powerful message that we need in a time where we need hope. So blessings to you wherever you are. May you know the love of God as your Father, the grace of Christ, his Son, and the encouragement, the fellowship of the Spirit. Peace.